this meeting to order, please. Bring this meeting to order, thank you.
First of all, I'd just like to take a moment. I understand Peter Drake passed away last Wednesday, and I just wanted, he's contributed a lot to our community, both our municipal communities and to the community in general, and just want to take a moment to mention that. So our first item of business is approval of the agenda, and we'd ask council to approve the agenda. Casey, we don't have a late items?
No, we have an on-table.
Yeah, we have an on-table item from the chair of our solid waste committee. He'll be speaking to it briefly in a minute. I would ask council to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. I note that Councillor Stone's not here. He's not feeling well. Is he?
But it has.
He's had.
He has the Kathy Levine.
I spread the joy. I'm going to be famous after all. Our first item is the adoption of the minutes, and they are the minutes of the regular council meeting held May 14th, 2012. And I would ask that council adopt these minutes.
Mover, seconder.
No.
Big change. One, a very little one, on page 3 of 5, resolution 12115, the second bullet, solid waste including that other existing bylaws. I think it should have been including other existing bylaws. That just doesn't make sense.
Where's that?
Second bullet,
Page
under
3.
resolution 112-1, just fourth line, fifth, yeah. Take a look at that. And on page 5, just for clarity, Councilor Moore spoke to item 11.8, just under the information item. I thought we should put the word North Shore in front of regional transit plan. And the big one is on page 4, the minutes of the Bowen Island Ferry Advisory Committee. Everything from Councilor Morris gave a brief update to all of the first bullet and all of the second bullet should be removed. And because what I was talking about was the new legislation, not the Ferry Commissioner's report. And Casey, have you got the hard copy of what I suggested? So you probably should read it.
So can you say that again, removing?
Everything from Councilor Morse gave a brief update, right, and all of the first bullet and all of the second bullet. And then there'll be a changed introduction to the third bullet, because I didn't make that statement.
Do you want me to read it? Okay. So it should read instead, Councillor Morris gave a brief update on the legislation to amend the Coastal Ferry Act that was just given first reading in the legislature, and the press release that was issued by the Ministry of Transportation in response to the BC Ferry Commissioner's report on the review of the Coastal Ferry Act. She noted that the press release, in addition to summarizing the changes to the Act, also noted the Ministry's expectations that BC Ferries would find efficiencies to reduce operating costs, that there would be significant adjustments to service levels, and the province would be conducting community consultation. Councillor Morris noted that traffic had declined on most BC ferry routes in the past fiscal year, except for Bowen. And then a final bullet would be that a member of council noted that the present Bowen fare system with visitors paying a higher fare. Sorry.
Present Bowen fare system between Bowen and the mainland needs to change and then carries on the way it is in the middle.
Well, thanks for that minor change, Councillor Morris.
I didn't type it up.
Okay. All those,
So I will move that the minutes be approved as amended.
as amended. Second. All those in favor? Anybody against? No. Thank you.
Our next item of business is public comment. Casey, do we have any speakers signed up for this?
Yes, we have a few speakers. I think they're together. Jonathan Bell, Florrie, Levine, and Wendy Wanvig from the Bowen Island Yacht Club. You can stay there or stand up.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Bell. I'm the Commodore of the Bowen Island Yacht Club. Thank you for your time. We're here today concerning the boat ramp, new boat launch ramp at Tunstall Bay. We, as boaters, we are fully support the ramp. We've got nothing against it. We think it's a great idea. Personally, I'm from the west side of the island, and I think we need a boat ramp on that side of the island, so this has nothing to do with the validity of having a boat ramp. It mostly concerns safety issues. You know, we run a quite a large sail training program in that area of Tunstall Bay, and we have a whole bunch of kids, 20, 30 kids at any one time in that area. They're on the water, a lot of them are young kids, and they don't have good sailing experience, boating skills on the water, and we're concerned about possible conflicts with boaters putting boats in the water and so forth. So Florrie actually has more information, talk to in more depth. So I'm going to let her give you more information. Florrie?
Thanks, John. So the Bowen Island Yacht Club has been operating sail training programs out of Tunstall Bay for over 20 years. And during that time, a lot of kids have run through the program, and we've had a lot of communications with the municipality and previous levels of government about our use of that land. And in fact, there exists a historic agreement between the municipality and the yacht club for the use of the foreshore for yacht club purposes, and the potential construction of a yacht club facility in that location. So we are a key stakeholder in the development of any plans in that area, because we use it every summer, every day. And our paramount concern, as Jonathan mentioned, is safety, because we've got kids there, and we've got kids of varying ages, and we use both the foreshore and the water areas. So we do land games and lots of sail training on land as well as in the water, and there are always conflicts, and have been always conflicts with vehicular access to that site, with pedestrian use of that site. And so the boat ramp project is actually an opportunity to address those concerns and perhaps fix some of those situations. And having more boat traffic and more vehicular traffic in that area without dealing with those conflict areas actually creates a worse problem. So we're just here today to highlight that we think that going ahead with the boat launch project without addressing the upland portion of the project could actually be more problematic in the short term. And it's our understanding that because the budget was reduced for 2012, the goal is to implement the launch first and do the upland portion of the work later. And we actually are concerned about that in terms of the order of construction, because we think that creating the boat launch could potentially create more problems on the upland portion. And without implementing some kind of strategy for dealing with the traffic in advance, we could end up with more problems. Additionally, this year the yacht club is lucky enough to be launching a new program, and that's with Optimist sailboats. And these are small sailboats that we use for training kids ages 6 to 10. And in the last 3 years, we've been working with BC Sailing, and we've run this Optimist program for 1 week during the summer. This year, we're going to be running it for 4 weeks, because we've actually purchased our own boats, and we have 5 new Optimist sailing dinghies that we're going to be using this summer, which is a fabulous opportunity for Bowen kids, and we'll get younger kids on the water and learning to sail at an earlier age. But what that means is we're going to have more vulnerable parts of our population there, and we need to take care to ensure that everyone's safety. So we just want to make that clear and bring that to your attention, that the potential construction of the boat launch is a conflict for us in terms of our use of the land. And we've not had any confirmation from staff yet about when this could happen. There's this notion that it might happen in late June, but it's not confirmed. And we start our programs the first week of July, so if the boat launch construction doesn't happen or isn't complete by the end of June, then we have conflict in terms of use of physical space for construction equipment, for construction areas, and how we're going to work that out. And we've had no detailed understanding of how that would work from staff to this point. So those are our safety concerns. We also have on water safety concerns. Clearly, if more boats are being launched and we've got younger sailors on the water, that's a concern as well. And we've had no real understanding of how that may be dealt with as well. Except the potential for additional signage, but we have no commitment in terms of how our concerns are being addressed by the municipality. I talked about the schedule, safety. I guess the big thing is that at this point, because of our concerns and because of the historic use of this site, we would hope that our concerns would be accommodated in some way, and we would gain some commitment from the municipality to understand how the planning will unfold to address our concerns and how the implementation will unfold to address our concerns. And we don't have that kind of commitment at all, except a notion that the construction could begin in as soon as a couple of weeks from our latest correspondence. So we're just a bit in the dark, and we're not confident that our concerns are being addressed, and we feel the need to speak to you and educate you about the past use of that site and how the boat launch project impacts our summer plans. And we're a volunteer club, and it's all done by volunteer effort, and we're just trying to do our best here to maintain our program for the summer and not incur any additional difficulties or inconveniences for the families who will be bringing their kids to our programs this summer. So that's basically it. Wendy, do you want to add something?
I have asked our manager of engineering to prepare a strategy report about how to deal with your concerns. I will also provide a copy to council as well, but hopefully that will mitigate some of the concerns.
I think one of the criteria for it was the low tides. The building has to be started at low tide, as I understand it. I mean,
Yeah, but they also know when the low tides are, the low tide.
yeah, but I'm just saying that that's one of the criteria for starting the construction. Yeah.
But we were talking about not working backwards, like we were talking about organizing the forefront, like parking area and all of that, because once you start building the construction down below, it's going to create a lot of havoc for our sail training starting in July 1st. So our thought was just to start maybe construction above. Like there must be certain areas that are being planned above the boat ramp that should happen prior to the boat ramp going in. And maybe that's something that should happen now and then do the boat ramp at a later time, like the end of the summer and the fall. I think that might be a better resolution.
I think there are a number of different issues. One is we have a permit, or we're about to get a permit. It's only for 1 year. So there's that issue. And also we don't have enough money to do the whole job. So whether it's better to build the boat ramp itself as opposed to the uplands, that's something that we haven't sorted out yet, I don't think.
But the overriding thing here is our concern is the safety.
No, I understand.
So, again, the boat ramp's great,
Yeah.
but we build a boat ramp, people are going to use it,
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't put in any safety measures.
Yeah.
No,
No,
we're
we're
going to be driving out trailers, and again, kids are running around.
We're cognizant of that.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest concern. Is something that I
After speaking to Florrie, I did flag this with our manager of engineering, and he will be providing either a plan to mitigate it or other ways to deal with this. One of the issues is we're having some difficulties with the province right now. So there is questionable whether or not it will proceed at all this year. But I will get a report from our manager of engineering, and we have your correspondence, and we'll have him address your concerns, and we'll also present that to council.
Thank you.
Councilman?
Might I suggest that once that report's written, it might be a good idea to go over it, have a meeting with the
Absolutely.
yacht club,
With the- yeah,
yourself,
the
and
stakeholders
and the Tunstall Bay Councilors Association, because they're going to have issues too.
Mhm.
Free communication.